taking my build to the ultimatums. See if I can do it. I'm gonna go over the tree real quick. Get all the melee damage. Get more melee damage. Then we come over here for block chance. Then we come over here for max block chance. More block chance. Melee damage. Melee damage. Block chance. Grand Spectrum Ruby. Heart of the Well. We come over here for more block chance and maximum block chance. We come up here for more block chance. Come over here for spell damage, attack damage, spell damage, attack damage, spell damage, attack damage. And then you take a turn over here for more block chance, and then cold damage and elemental damage for the spells, which also assists our walls a tiny bit because they do a little bit of cold damage. Alright, we go over the supports and the skills. We got Frostbolt, Pinpoint Critical, Considered Casting, Deliberation, Inexorable Critical, Efficiency 2, Shield Wall, Pinpoint Critical, Elemental Armaments 2, Rapid Attacks 2, Heft, Efficiency 2. Now for this one, you can take out Considered Casting, right? And if you want, you can put Rapid Casting. For some people, this might be preferred. It's up to you. You're going to be able to cast more often. That means you can break your walls slightly faster. Especially if you don't crit. Now, before we go straight into ultimatums, I'm going to do a little bit of a map real quick for you guys. Just to show you it can do high tier maps and game content. There's a tier 14, a rare tier 14 with 2 or 3 revives. Probably, we'll just say 3 revives because I don't want to lie to you. We have over 90% chance to block. We have over 30% armor. We have maxed reses except for chaos and a shitload of life. How do we get our life? From Kaom's Heart. Let me go over the gear real quick. We got Svalin, a really good one. We got Defiance of Destiny. Let me go over the items you need. You absolutely need these items to make the build work. You need a Svalin. You need Defiance of Destiny. You need a Snake Pit Pearl Ring. You need a Kaom's Heart. You do not need a Headhunter. If I can unequip it, I cannot use most of my items. That's why I have it equipped, because I don't want to spec into Dex on the tree. But I really don't have it equipped for the rare modifiers. I really just have it equipped for Dex. But you do not need it. In my other video, I showed that you don't need it. You know, it is what it is. I'm not going to go over that. For cast on block, we have Comet, Boundless Energy 2, and Efficiency 2. And then I also have Spell Slinger, but this doesn't really do anything, so I'm not going to go over Spell Slinger. You can use Raised Shield. I don't recommend it, but you can. And if you use Raised Shield, I recommend you use Steadfast 2. That's about it for Raised Shield. The only downside of this build is you cannot block ailments. So for your charms, you're going to want one that makes you immune to Ignite, immune to Poison, and immune to Bleeding. And then you're also going to want a Lavianga's Spirits, because nobody likes chugging mana flats. It's the tankiest build I think you can make in the game. Obliterating rares. You want to watch out for your mana for enemies like this. You do not need headhunter abilities. I showed with the first rare, you don't need headhunter abilities. Like I said, I just have it for the dexterity. Headhunter's cheap right now anyway, so even if you did need it, which you don't, but if you did, it's cheap. You could probably make this build work even better without a small one, but I'm using it for the cast on block and the lucky chance to block. That's kind of where the tankiness comes in. Boss is going to be over here. We'll kill the boss real quick. I was using Frost Wall, but I realized Frost Wall does not do enough damage. It's very unfortunate. You notice our health actually goes up more often than not. That's because of Defiance of Destiny. I cannot stress enough how required Defiance of Destiny and Kael'thas Heart are. Both of those items are absolutely required. If you do not wear those items, you will not be tamed. You will die. If you wear those items, you will be fine. Even without this small one, you will be fine as long as you have Kael'thas Heart and Defiance of Destiny. So there's tier 14. We do have a couple of levels in our Atlas tree. I will show that right now. We have 2. I could put more. Um, it would make the bosses take longer, but I would not die. I've tested it already. I just don't want to do it because the bosses end up taking too long to kill. Because I don't have enough damage to really make it go by fast. But other than that, this build is tanky enough to do all content in the game, including Zesh, Arbiter of Ash. I don't know about Uber Arbiter. I haven't tried it yet. We barely just got to level 78 and we're already doing tier 14 maps. You know, there's not much more to show in terms of tankiness. The goal of this build was to try and make cast on block work, and I think I kind of succeeded. You can see a lot of comments are coming down. A lot of the time, so many comments come down, they'll burst your walls for you, and you won't even need to break them. Which is why we spec into spells a little bit, because we want the comments to be damaged. Clearing out these rares, we're clearing out these abysses. And we're just getting obliterated. Let's go. Easy money. Another bell you could use. There's a unique one that gives you dexterity. Hold on. show you right now. Not this one. This one's shit. You don't want to use this one. This one. Ingenuity. No, not that one. My bad. You could use an ingenuity. It has dexterity on it, but that's not the one I'm talking about. This one. This is what I'm talking about. This one gives you a lot of dexterity, a lot of life. It'll help with your charm charges, so you can stay immune to ignite and bleed and poison. The only things you can't block. This belt, Coward's Legacy, is shit. You don't want to use that. You want to use either an Ingenuity or a Bejewelborn. One or the other, which I recommend Bejewelborn. If you can find a good Ingenuity, then go for it. I recommend Bejewelborn. If you can get a Headhunter, they're not that expensive right now. I'll show you right now that they're not too expensive. It's actually kind of expensive. What the fuck? Since when? Okay, mine I got for cheap. So I thought they were cheaper than that. That's actually pretty expensive. I think people are stretching. I should show a map of the Bejewelborn just to prove you can do it without a Headhunter. Let me kill the rares real quick. And we'll probably end it. Not the video, I mean the map. We'll probably end the map right after. Let me open this real quick. This is probably the tankiest build you can play. And it does decent TPS. But if you do not have the required uniques that stage you need, alright, now let's go on to the Trials of Chaos. Now that we completed the map and kill all the rares, so it did have 3 revives, okay. So we have 3 things here. We have an ultimatum of Cowardly, ultimatum of Deadly, and an ultimatum of Victorious. Let me get some water and then we'll go ahead and do all 3. Don't plug it. Okay, I'm back. Let's do the first one. The Cowardly. They're all the same difficulty. There's no difference between any of them. I don't know why some of the fates go for different prices, but they do. So I'm gonna go over what the best shit to do is for this. This one's good. The Valve Machine is a really easy one. It does basically no damage. So you'll have a good time with it. Where we go right now is to kill all the enemies. It'll be easy enough. And as you can see, the reason we have the snake pit pearl ring is so we can just get these cross bolts to explode instantly, so that we can blow up the walls really consistently. Because without that ring, look what happens without that ring. Watch how long these take to explode. That was 3 right there. That one didn't take that long. 4 right there. Like I said, a lot of times your comet will just blow them up for you. Actually, I'm gonna take it now. I'm gonna take it all longer. Where are we gonna go? 2, 3. It ain't that bad. But I still want to use it. I guess you don't have to, though. I'm being completely honest. You could just deal with the shorter amount or the longer explosion times. I don't want to deal with it. I want the walls to explode faster, so I use Snake Pit Pearl Ring. Yeah, that's fine. Let me level up real quick. Yeah, we want to get these 3 here. Will I be getting this character 90? That's the real question. I don't know. This game, I played it to death, man. I'm meaning to move on to Elden Ring, honestly. But I played that to death, too. I don't really have any good games that are worth playing. Build is really good for ultimatums, though. As you can honestly. Area level 80. It's not that high, honestly. It should have made it like area level 83 or something, or 85. Yeah, debuff slash buffs. Bang is not bad either. Now, the only recovery we have is from Defiance of Destiny. So if you're not getting hit, you're actually not healing. Which is like really, really dumb. The most expensive thing in this build is the Defiance of Destiny. This is the most expensive item in this entire build. If you want Defiance of Destiny with a lot of life regain on hit, you're gonna need a pretty penny. So these are really shitty ones. I'll show you how much a really good one goes for. You're gonna want at least 30. Ain't that bad. So the one I have, you wanted one like the one I have. Let's see how much that would cost. That would go for. 10%. 12 divine. Whew. And that's for corrupted ones. You don't want a corrupted one. You want one you can anoint. So 19 divine. Ooh, yeah, that's not good. So Defiance of Destiny I'm using, it's something like that is gonna cost you 19 divine. Like I said, that's the most expensive part of this build. And then you're gonna want one of these shields, but you're gonna want it with as much armor as you can possibly get, and as little damage taken from blocked hits as you can get. And if you can get one with 2 sockets, that's going to be even better. But that's very unlikely that you're going to be able to do that, unless you just have a shitload of currency instead. Then in that case, you probably will be able to get you'll probably be able to get a better one than I have. So I'll show you that real quick. You can get Svalin shields with no damage from blocked hits. And I will prove it right now. You want to put yes for identified, and obviously they're going to be corrupted. And then for the armor, because you want to get one with as much armor as you can get, so you're going to want to get one with a shitload of armor. So it's 100 divine. So the one I that's crazy. That's crazy. So if we get rid of this and we put it here, right? Block. Blocked hits. And we put maximum 5, right? It's not that bad. It's 20 divine, so that's this probably is the most expensive one. Yeah, 20 divine for one similar to this. So 20 divine shield, 19 divine amulet, and you got yourself a build. And then, you, like I said, you're going to want one of these. This is not a good KO, I'm sorry. This is a cheap one. So you can get one of these for really cheap. I'm not even going to look it up. I already know it's cheap. You can get one of these for really cheap. You can get these for 10 of those for some reason. I don't know why. Don't get a headhunter. Just get a Bajorborn. Get a headhunter if you can afford it. But if you can't afford it, get a Bajorborn or an Ingenuity. And then Maligar's Virtuosity is also cheap. The ring I have is pretty expensive. The one here. The boots and the helmet are pretty expensive, so those are gonna cost you a pretty penny. You want some as good as I have. The boots I have are not good for this book. The boots you want armor boots. You want boots of armor. That is absolutely what you want when it comes down to the boots. Supposed to be going here. Okay. And also, for the wand, you don't really want a wand. What you actually want is you want uh, Sacred Flame Scepter. And I'll show you the kind you want. You want like one of these. Honestly, not bad. I thought they would cost a lot more. That's not bad. It's cheaper than the shield. But yeah, you're gonna want one of these with at least 60% extra fire damage. I do not have one currently. I'm going to get one and replace my wand with it. Why do you want that? Because you want to increase the damage of your shield wall. Yeah, you want to increase the damage of your shield wall by a shitload. And you can't do that if you're using the wand. That fell is. Look at the gold real quick. That's fine. So if you're doing ultimatums, just follow what I'm doing. Especially if you're doing tanky build. You don't even have to do tanky build. Level up again? An ultimatum? Yeah. Alright. Yeah, we don't have any regeneration anyways, so. I think after this we have one more boss. I don't think it should do any damage to this. I really don't. Like, I don't think this guy can even kill us, even if we stood still. Oh, that can kill us. Never mind. That can kill us. Yeah, tornadoes do a shitload of damage.
I realized I fucked up. Fucked up big time. Can't use that shit that often. I chose to fuck. I didn't realize the regeneration also meant our man. Not good. That means this boss didn't take very long. Yeah, we got him. Damn, that was not the last one. Okay. So we are gonna have to deal with shit mana for a very large amount of time. We do the resistance because we're doing mostly physical damage anyways, so the resistance is going to work in our favor. Very much in our favor. Okay. For the time being, I'm going to have to turn these off. Just for this ultimatum. Because we do not have enough mana regeneration to sustain that. Because I was dumb. I chose the wrong shit. I don't choose the regeneration unless you don't mind turning those. I mean, you can tell, you can see I'm doing perfectly fine with my mana. We still got 11 blocks, like we're good. And like I said, you're gonna heal just from getting hit. So, you should be fine. Especially if you're doing this good. Build is very tanky. With over 90% chance to block. Are you kidding me? Over 90% chance to block. That's insane. If you didn't use Kael'th's Heart, you could get a lot more damage out of it, which might be something you're interested in if you didn't want to do like a DPS version. But this is not a DPS version. This is very much the opposite. This tank. I was going for a tank. Why is the comet still falling down? Didn't I turn this shit off? What the fuck? Is that a glitch? That's gotta be a glitch, right? Wait, hold on. Fuck it, I guess. Yeah, we turned it off. Yeah, they're both off. The comet's still falling down. So, I guess you don't need it on. That's kind of crazy. regardless of whether you have it on or not, the comments, it's still going to proc block, cast on block. So there you go. The more you know. Let me just turn it back on, then I'll get. Let's do that. Oh shit! Did that lower a block? I don't fucking know. All right, let's see if we can kill this fucker fast. Where'd he go? Why'd he go down there? Okay, it gave us time to regenerate our mana. So. We're actually getting fucked, dude. Like, Jesus, we're actually getting fucking obliterated. Get out of the place. That's not even good for us. Okay. So we're actually going to need him to hit us. Oh, no. The lighting hit us and that held us. Oh, fuck. Okay, don't get hit. I love how we can just get hit by lightning and it kills us. That's gonna hurt us. And we're bleeding! Oh, fucking Christ. Alright. Okay. The lightning heals. I guess not. The game's lagging. Alright, this is taking a long fucking time. There we go. Oh my god, dude, what the fuck? The electricity's making my game fucking slow. We're ignited. We're getting fucked. We ended it, finally. I'm about to die. I'm dead. Okay. We died. Do not choose the regeneration one. Fuck, man. It really fucks up your mana. Uh, Jesus Christ. That's why we couldn't heal either, because it was negating all of our fucking regeneration from. But we got the cowardly fate. Let's just go sell it. I was actually doing that to get my fucking my ascendancy nodes as well, so that's kind of annoying. But we did get the item though. '19 divine. I mean, eh, all right, all right. All right. Yeah, I guess that's that.